What's going on, guys? We are back with another video. Now before the video starts, I want to give a big shout out to Francisco from New York for sending me this Heavy Haulers Yupong snapback. Pretty cool hat. He's also known as 18 Speed Beast on Instagram. But with that being said, let's get this video started. I got unit 95 right here. I just got back from doing a couple loads. Not sure if y'all can see, I put some boards right there underneath the front wheels. What I'm gonna be doing is changing the fuel filter on the truck. I change my fuel filters every 4,000 miles. I'm gonna be greasing the entire truck. So I got some grease here. I got a dirty T100 snapback because I like to put on these used old hats when I'm working on the truck. I just like wearing a hat for everything, literally. I got my gloves. I'm gonna be adjusting the brakes on the truck and the trailer. Got my overall right here, and I always like to keep some diesel for my filter right there. But this is something I do every 4,000 miles after my oil changes. I do my oil changes every 8,000 miles, and every other week I do grease up my front suspension. But like I said, when I do my oil change at 8,000 miles, truck and trailer, they all get greased. And in between oil changes at 4,000 miles, I grease up the trailer and the truck myself. I got this bad habit of be wearing like some of the nicer hats I have, and I start doing something to the truck, and then I start grabbing my hat and they end up looking like this. So now I just kind of leave the hats that I use for this, for doing maintenance, put them to the side, and that way I don't get more hats dirty. Trailero shirts, got black and maroon available on my website. Link will be in the description below to the store. You guys already know that. But yeah, it looks like we're gonna have a lot of rain here these upcoming days. So I gotta take advantage of the work while I can right now. Tomorrow I'm gonna be doing 3 loads. I did 2 today, 1 yesterday. The week before last week, so actually the last 2 weeks, lots of loads. I was pretty much everywhere, anywhere. Right now I just did a bid for a 100-ton crane that has to be moved to Midland, Texas, which I don't do those myself, but I do have companies that help me with that, so they still run under GR Trucking. But there it is. Got the overall ready so I don't get dirty. I'm gonna start by changing the fuel filter. Now my truck only has 1 fuel filter. A lot of people tell me that the cats have 2 fuel filters, but for some reason mine only has this one right there, and that's it. No other fuel filter. That's one of the main reasons why I like to change them every 4,000 miles, to make sure that the filter is always clean. So one of these should work. I'm gonna bring something to put underneath. So I'm gonna take this pan so the fuel can drop in there. But here's an extra, a spare tire for the low boy. This is a good tire, but just look what happened to it. But I just have it here in case I do need it. I just turn on the air compressor and change it. It's already on the rim. There's an old air compressor we have. I'm gonna see if I can work on that, get it going. I'll have to hit up my boy Lenny. He's pretty good with small engine repairs. So Lenny, if you're watching this, we're gonna have to start working on that air compressor soon. Let's see if the diesel's dirty. I'm gonna show you how I check the diesel to make sure it's not too dirty. I'm gonna tap the fuel filter on the tire. And it is a little bit dirty. There's like black dots coming out of the fuel. Let me show you guys real quick. Not sure if y'all can see that there. Yeah, that feels pretty dirty. Look at that. So think about it. If I was to just change my filters every oil change, so now that I'm not too busy with dumpsters like I used to, this 15 yard here, I just use it for scrap. So I get scrap metal, I just put it here, and once it get full, I'll take it to the scrap yard and recycle it. There's a low boy, unit 75. That old diesel, it's already mixed with oil. I'm gonna put it over here on an old gallon of Mystic diesel I have. Just gonna put it in here. So when I get these full with oil or gas, fuel, whatever, I'll take them to Advance and recycle it. So you can see I have a few there. All of these I'll keep them here because when it's time to do the oil change on the excavator and stuff, I can just put the oil there and recycle it. But yeah guys, when you're an owner operator or have your own truck, don't think it's always just driving and all that. You got to stop sometimes. You got to work on the trucks. You know, that's key to keeping the truck running good. So I'm doing this right now, and that can prevent me later on from being stuck somewhere out there loaded, the truck not having power because my filters, they're full of crap. So I'm changing the filter right now and it's gonna be good. And I always carry a spare fuel filter with me. That's also a big plus. Always have an extra fuel filter. You never know when you're gonna need it. Fuel filter is full. Got the fuel filter changed. Also on the filters, you don't want to go too tight, just a little snug. Gonna turn it on, make sure that the system didn't get any air. So I'm done with that. Now what I'm gonna do, it's start greasing the front of the truck. I got this cardboard here I always use when I gotta get underneath the trucks. Let's see if the grease gun has grease in it. I'm gonna start with the front suspension of the truck. My neighbor has too many chickens. The pins for the hood, there's one on each side. I'm gonna do the front axle. On this side, there's a bit more stuff I gotta grease, like the steering components. Finished with the front of the truck. As y'all can see, everything got greased. I'm gonna miss this one, but I'm gonna have to do it later on when I turn the truck on. But overall it's good. Got a little bit of play here, not a whole lot though. That's still good. I do have a leaking gearbox, so this one does leak a lot. I'm gonna have to change the gearbox. Probably do that here in a week or two, but that's pretty much the only thing that I need to do to the truck. Everything else is fine. I don't have no oil leaks, no air leaks. And now what I'm gonna do, I gotta do the transmission, grease the transmission, and start on the drive shaft and work my way back to the rear axles. The transmission is done. Now I can come over here. Just like to make sure everything is good here with the exhaust. While I'm down here, I'm gonna make sure that everything is good. Want to make sure there's not movement here that shouldn't be. There's a little bit of play right here. Not sure if you can tell. But it's not a whole lot, but I will have to get that checked out. Last time while I was greasing, but this was a few months ago, maybe even a year or two, I noticed that some of the screws, bolts here on my drive shaft were loose. So I had to tighten those up, but ever since, they've been good. I've been checking them and pretty solid. Everything is nice and tight. Now I'm gonna do each axle. Slack adjusters, S-cams, and then the drive line in between the differentials. This is the reason why it's good to wear an overall, because you could grease all over yourself, get stinking dirty. Not sure what my face looks like, but pretty sure it might be a little bit dirty too. Now I'm finished with the grease gun on the truck. Still got to do the trailer, both the trailers actually. I'm gonna leave the cardboard underneath the rear axles, because now I'm gonna turn on the truck, let it build up air up to 120. Then I'm gonna release the brakes on the truck, leave the trailer locked. I'm gonna go ahead and adjust my front brakes and the rear axle brakes. Neutral. I gotta get my tools now. It's either gonna be a 9/16 or 15/16 socket. Seven 16ths. Let's see if, yeah, there it is. So a 7/16 socket. Get a extension. That loud noise you guys are hearing is from the scrapyard across the street. Now to adjust the brakes, all I'm gonna do is tighten them up and come back a quarter of a turn, and that's pretty much it. So these weren't that bad out of adjustment. There it is. Like you guys saw, the slack adjuster on this side, I was not able to adjust it correctly, so I just came back on it over a quarter of a turn. Pretty much went back a whole turn, so that brake is not gonna be doing anything tomorrow. I'll get it changed after the 3 loads I have. Very important, now that I'm done with the brakes here on the truck, I gotta set the brakes. You don't want to forget that and have the truck roll back. Now before I close the hood, I'm gonna check power steer, my coolant, my engine oil, make sure everything is good, my belts, 1/4 of an inch, 1/2 inch of play, those are good. No oil leaks in the front, no oil leaks up here, no coolant leaks either. I do have a small power steering leak, so remember that it's leaking from here, which is also coming out from here. That seal that goes there, that's why it's so dirty. And then this bar here too, all of it falls on there, so it gets pretty bad. I had already changed the gasket that goes in there, but you know, it started over here and started leaking there again. So like I said, I'm just going to change the entire unit and we'll see how that is. It's full, so as you can see, it doesn't leak that much because last time I topped it off was about 3-4 weeks ago, and it really hasn't leaked much. So power steering is good. Washer fluid is good. Now on this side, everything looks good. No leaking oil, no coolant leaks either. The clamp looks a little bit open, but I think that's just how it is. Yeah, that's good. Now I'm gonna check the oil. Oil's good. As y'all can see, it's full. So this motor here, it's been pretty good to me ever since I bought it. It doesn't waste any oil. I've never had to put oil because it's burning it or it's leaking it. But that's because when I first bought the truck too, the first thing I did, got my oil leaks fixed. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much what I've done. You guys know I've changed like 2-3 injectors, but I didn't even have to because the problem was the computer. But overall, I've had a very good experience with this Caterpillar. I love this motor. It's a good motor. What else? This here, I changed this filter every oil change. Oh man, look at that. That thing is filthy. You know what? I think I'm gonna change it right now. I think that's the soap they used when I went and washed it last time. That air filter too, it gets changed whenever I do my oil change. So every 8,000 miles, change the air filter, and then the cab air filter, oil filter too, and fuel filter every oil change and in between. Here's the filter. Yeah, look at that. So this is the soap. It's a lot of that soap they used on the truck when I went and got it washed. Overall, it wasn't that dirty, but I'm still gonna change it. So I'm pretty much done with the truck now. What I'm gonna do is start greasing the trailer and then adjust the brakes on it. So I did the pins on the 5th wheel. Now the low boy has a few different grease fittings. So there's one down there, one right here, 3 right here, another one there, right here, each side of the piston, and that would cover the front of the low boy. Finished greasing the neck of the low boy. Now to grease it back here, it's pretty simple. There's a nipple fitting right here that greases the bushing on this end of the S-cam. There's another one inside. Not sure if I can tell, but it's in there. And then obviously the slack adjuster, which is down here. So 3 points to grease on each side. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, and that's it. Now for you owner operators, let me know how you guys do maintenance on your truck. If it's something similar to what I do, if it's different, let me know what you do. I'm kind of curious to see how people work on the trucks, how they keep up with it. But that's the way I do it, and it's been pretty good to me. Since I did my kingpins, every time I go check them, get aligned, they're like, everything's pretty good. It looks like you keep up with the greasing of it and all that. So that makes me feel good about it too. As far as rubber's good all around on the truck, steers, drives. Now if any of you guys have 22s on the front, these tires have probably 90 to 95% of life still in them. I haven't ran them for too much ever since I got the blowout on one side. That's when I put both of them new. But like you guys know, I'm local, so I don't go out of state. I don't do too many miles. And they're 22s. The wheels are dirty, but they're polished, they're shiny. So what I want to do, I want to go with 315s, put the wider wheel up front. If anybody's interested in buying my 22s with the tire, let me know. Send me a message on Instagram, DM me. Like I said, I want to get something different. I want to go wider. I think it would look pretty good on the truck, especially when it's backed out. So I'll have the tire pretty much sitting right here with the fender. I didn't record this, but I did end up using 3 tubes of grease for the entire truck. As you can see, 3 empty tubes. And use a filter. I'm just gonna clean up my mess right now, clean up my grease gun, pick up my tools, put everything up, call it a day, go home. Now like I said, I'm not gonna cancel my loads just because that slack adjuster is not working properly. I'm gonna run it like that. Sometimes you got to do that, you know what I mean? Let's say you're in the middle of nowhere, your slack adjuster is not functioning right. Just go back on it or take the hose out, whatever, put a zip tie, do whatever you got to do, and you can still move. That doesn't affect you where you have to completely stop. So I'm gonna run the truck like that tomorrow. Got the second pin out. And now like you guys can see, I got the slack adjuster to come off the chamber, the route of the chamber. Now with this tool, I'm gonna be taking off this little clamp that goes here, and then I can just pull it out, and that's it. Super easy. Here's that lock that keeps everything in place from falling apart. And then I got a spacer. I'm gonna put everything in order here on this cardboard. Here's another spacer. And now the slack adjuster comes out easily, just like that. Got the slack adjuster out. I left everything there on the cardboard, my tools, the 2 pins, the lock, the 2 spacers, and obviously here's the slack adjuster. It's filthy. Look at that. So I'm gonna clean it up a bit, and then I'm gonna head over to my cousin's shop and see if they have the slack adjuster. I'm gonna try to clean it with some gasoline so I can take it over there and get the numbers off of it. It's pretty hard when there's a lot of grease on there. Here it is, clean slack adjuster. So now I can see the numbers that are here, up here, take it to the parts store and get another one just like it. I'm back at the yard now. Here's the new slack adjuster I bought from my cousin, BR Truck Parts. So I'm gonna go ahead and install this thing real quick. Here's that last spacer, the thinnest one. And now I can put the lock on there. There it is. Perfect. There it is. Change that slack adjuster, grease the entire truck, change that fuel filter, and right now I took the truck off the wood blocks. I went backwards and forward and was checking on the brakes, tapping them. Brakes are working fine now, and it actually reacts quicker, so that means that that wheel right there is braking, so it's really helping it a lot. You'll be surprised, without one brake, either on truck or trailer, it can make a difference when you're coming to a stop. But I got that fixed, and also the end dump, I just greased it right now. So that'll be it, everybody. Thanks for joining me on another video. I'll see you on the next one.